Genesis chapter 3. The Fall, a story of temptation and consequence. The garden was perfect. Every tree was beautiful, every river clear, every breath felt like peace. Adam and Eve walked freely in Eden, naked yet unashamed, in complete harmony with each other and with God. But a quiet warning, God's first and only command, lingered in the air. Do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for on that day death would surely enter the world. The serpent's deceit. Among all the creatures God had made, there was one unlike the others. A serpent, cunning and sly. It approached the woman Eve with a question that dripped with subtle deceit, planting the very first seed of doubt. Did God really say, "You must not eat from any tree in the garden"? Eve, in her innocence, replied honestly, trying to clarify the divine instruction. We may eat from the trees in the garden, but God said we must not eat or even touch the tree in the middle of the garden, or we will die. But the serpent, ever so subtle, spoke again, directly challenging God's warning. You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like God, knowing good and evil. A disastrous choice. The woman looked again at the fruit. It was more than just fruit now. It was visually appealing. It looked delicious, and most powerfully, it promised wisdom. The allure was too strong. She took it. She ate. Then, she gave some to Adam, who was right there with her, and he ate as well. In that single, irreversible moment, everything shifted. Their eyes were indeed opened, but not in the way they expected. They saw their nakedness and felt something entirely new and terrifying: shame. Desperately, they gathered fig leaves and awkwardly sewed them together to cover themselves. Their pristine innocence was gone, shattered by disobedience, confrontation, and consequence. Then they heard it, the unmistakable sound of God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. But instead of running to him as they once did, they were filled with fear and hid among the trees. God called out, his voice resonating through Eden. "Adam, where are you?" Adam, trembling, answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God, knowing full well what had transpired, asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam, in his fear, immediately shifted the blame. "The woman you put here with me, she gave me the fruit, and I ate it." Then God turned to Eve, and she, in turn, sought to deflect. "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." The pronouncement of judgment. And so, judgment came, a direct consequence of their actions, forever altering their existence and the world around them. To the serpent, God declared, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. With painful toil you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To the man he pronounced, "Because you listened to your wife, and ate from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. The ground is now cursed because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food, until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." Mercy and expulsion. But even in this moment of profound judgment, God showed mercy. He made garments of animal skin to clothe Adam and Eve, covering their shame more fully than mere fig leaves ever could. This act was a powerful symbol of grace and a poignant hint of future sacrifice needed for reconciliation. Then, God did something heartbreaking, yet necessary. He banished them from the Garden of Eden. For now that they knew good and evil, they must not be allowed to also eat from the tree of life and live forever in this broken, sinful state. To guard the way back to the tree of life, he placed mighty cherubim and a flaming sword that turned in every direction, permanently barring access. and so the perfect peace and effortless harmony of Eden were lost. But even in this expulsion, the narrative subtly points to a deeper truth. The promise of restoration had begun, a long journey toward redemption. Now, to fully grasp the weight and beauty of this pivotal chapter, let's turn our attention to the original words of the Holy Bible. In the following section, we will share the complete text of Genesis chapter 3, verse by verse, allowing you to witness this powerful story in its purest form. The Fall 3. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" 2. The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden." 3. But God did say, "You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." 4. "You will not certainly die," the serpent said to the woman. 5. God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. 6. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. 7. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. 8. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. 9. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" 10. He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." 11. And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" 12. The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." 13. Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." 14. So the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life." 15. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head. Participates, and you will strike his heel. 16. To the woman he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." 17. To Adam he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. You will eat food from it all the days of your life." 18. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. 19. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. 20. Adam named his wife Eve. 21. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. 22. And the Lord God said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat, and live forever." 23. So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. 24. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. And so, we've explored how the perfect harmony in Eden was broken, and how that fateful moment forever altered the course of human history. Genesis chapter 3 isn't just a story of a fall, it's also the beginning of divine justice, enduring mercy, and the profound promise of redemption. This powerful narrative holds deep truths that shape not only our past, but our present and our future too. As you reflect on this ancient story, perhaps you found your own insights and reflections. If you enjoyed journeying with us through this significant chapter and found this content valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel. Show your support by giving this video a like and sharing your thoughts by leaving a comment below. We'd love to know what part resonated with you most or what insights you gained from this timeless story. To help us reach more people with these powerful narratives, please share this video with your friends and family. And if you'd like to support our channel directly and gain access to exclusive content, you can click the Join button to become a part of our growing community. Thank you sincerely for your time and for exploring this sacred text with us. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.